Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Zermatt, Switzerland, and what I learned when I was there and what I recommend you should do if you're planning to go there. Stay tuned till the end because tip 5 was very important, and if I had known that, if we had known that, we would have probably structured our trip a little differently. Stick around to the end to see what that's all about. Tip number 1. So Zermatt is a car-free village, meaning that there's a train that takes you to Zermatt. You have to park in Tash, which is a town close there, and get the train in. It runs every 20 minutes, and it is $16 to $20 a day to park in Tash. So think about that if you're gonna be booking a hotel and staying in Zermatt the whole night. Tash is only 5 kilometers away from Zermatt, so it's not a very long train ride at all. The train tickets from Tash to Zermatt are 17-20 franc. A one-way is 860, so you can do a one-way there and hang out there. Keep in mind though that if you do a two-way, you gotta keep your ticket. Of course, I forgot my ticket for the way back. So at the end of the day at McDonald's, I didn't have my ticket back. So I had to buy another ticket, which is a bit of a big pain in the butt. If you're staying in a hotel in Zermatt, there are shuttles to pick you up from the hotel to the train station.
I think I could travel by train.
Yeah, I could too.
Tip number 2 when it comes to Zermatt is my recommendation: definitely don't go without the Gorner Grat experience, okay? We did have a very funny experience where the weather was perfect in Zermatt. It was perfect at the Matterhorn and the Gorner Grat peak, but there was one little cloud that kept forming over the Matterhorn tip almost the entire time we were there. We were at the top there for probably 4 or 5 hours, and it wasn't until the 4th hour that it stopped creating, like a cloud was getting created in front of the Matterhorn. No clouds anywhere else, just there. Anyways, if you do go to Zermatt and you are crunched for time, you can still go see the Matterhorn. It stops along the way all the way to the observatory, so you can kind of go as far as you wish. When you get there, the hiking isn't hard to see anything. You can choose to go as deep into the valley as you wish. You cannot get an unobstructed view of the Matterhorn without going up there. That's the whole selling feature. But we had a blast, and I think all aspects of the Gorner Grat are worth the money. In reality, when are you ever gonna be in that area again to do that experience? They could have charged $500 a place to would have paid. I do want to mention that Zermatt is a good place to bring your kids if you are just going to do the hands-off tourist experience. If you want to just take pictures, it is very simple, easy, and accessible. You don't need to be a hiker, you don't need to have gear, you don't need to, you can be there in flip-flops, or you can be there in head-to-toe Arc'teryx and walking poles. Don't let it deter you that you have to get a train in there. It's super accessible, and it's not a very long train. It's only about 20 minutes. Honestly, there's no reason not to go to Zermatt. If you're already in Switzerland traveling through that area and you have your kids with you, I'd recommend paying the money and getting in there and seeing that, because there's something about Zermatt that you kind of got to see. It's like the perfect, quaint, like Sound of Music town. For tip number 4, everything in Zermatt is going to be the same price as anywhere else in Switzerland. So I found that there's no location inflation just because you're getting trained into Zermatt. The prices for food, coffee, and gifts or gift shops all seem to be the same price as they were everywhere else. Keep in mind there's an Omega shop, there's a Rolex shop, and there's all the top hiking brands and ski and snowboarding brands there selling their gear, so you can definitely spend a lot of money there. I would recommend, if I were to budget Zermatt into a day, I would say, we all agreed, I think it was $300 to $400 Canadian a day to eat your food there and see the attractions. If you're going to be staying in a hotel, you could probably make that close to $1,500 for a night stay in Zermatt and go to the mountaintop and eat, roughly per person. And that's about what it is for most of Switzerland, honestly. The franc is such a strong money system that it seems like everything is very expensive in Canadian. The numbers aren't that big. 450 euros in France is the same coffee Oh my God, I'm gonna stroke out trying to say this. One thing I love about Switzerland, and this is not necessarily a tip per se about Zermatt, but it's something to be considered because it's trained in, there is no location inflation. What?
You know what I like about Switzerland?
What?
Going and walking on the mountains.
Okay, thank you, buddy. Rylan says that his favorite part of Switzerland is going and walking on the mountains. Okay, so when it comes to Zermatt, because you're being trained in, the coffee in France was 450 euro. The same coffee in Switzerland was 450 franc, which is equivalent to 650 euro, and the 450 euro is equivalent to $8 Canadian, or give or take. So you could expect, if you use your credit card while you're in Switzerland or in Zermatt or anywhere, you can expect that with the transaction fee, the exchange, it's gonna be a very expensive way to do things. We cooked some cash out and budgeted everything so that we're only spending the cash we had there and not trying to get hit with transaction fees and exchange rates on the credit cards. Keep that in mind. The fifth and final tip, and one that I think you need to know before you go to Switzerland and before you plan your trip around Switzerland or France, is that if you are going to do Zermatt, I think you should not include it on a heavy travel day. Zermatt, because you can't get there by car, because you're gonna walk around the town, because you're gonna go up into the mountain and stop at every place, it's inherently a lot to bite off for one day. It's a lot to bite off for 5 or 6 hours. We essentially left Chamonix, France, and straight to Zermatt, which was like a 6-hour drive, I think. 4 to 6 hour drive, I can't remember now. I remember being exhausted by the time we got to Zermatt. Then you get the train, we had the toddler, so you gotta park, get the train, and do all those things which aren't really that difficult by themselves, but when you add in your traveling from point A to point B, don't make Zermatt like a point A and a half. Zermatt is its own destination, I think, and if you really want to get your money's worth there, you should probably spend a night there at least, or spend a night in Tash or closer by so you can eliminate the travel time and really just take your time and go through the steps and hang around at the Matterhorn. Especially if the weather is bad. The weather changes so dramatically around in that area that you probably want to stay there for the whole day. So that way you can go to the peak and you can hang around if the weather's not great, and then you can wait for a good shot like we did. We pushed it to the very limit. My wife was very uncomfortable and she was very tired from driving and wanted to get to Grindelwald before dark. And so she was felt kind of rushed up there, and we were all pretty tired from the trip. My son was being pretty testy at the time too. So when you're traveling with your family, keep in mind that the freshest everyone is when you're gonna have the most fun, obviously. And I think Zermatt was kind of glossed over on our trip, not that I'm mad about or upset about. We still got the experience, but we didn't get to really marinate in the beauty that is Zermatt and its interesting aspect of the vibe of the town. It was kind of much like an in and out sort of deal, right? So keep that in mind. Those are my 5 tips and my recommendations for traveling to Zermatt, Switzerland, if you plan on doing that in the near future. Comment down below if you have any other questions about the trains, meals, and what we ate, or anything else that I didn't cover in this video. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will be doing a video like this for each location we did, from Lyon to Interlaken, Grindelwald, back to Lyon. We did this trip in the fall. I think that's it. Oh man. Thanks for your help, buddy. Hey, buddy. Okay, I gotta get him out of the bath. Oh. Your buddy. Welcome back to another video, and I hope you liked my last video. No. Welcome back to another video. This is one of the series. Today I'm going to be telling you about 5 reasons why. No, let me get it up straight here. Let's go over 5 things that I just recently found out about Zermatt, Switzerland when I was there in September. I think it was there in October. I was just in Zermatt. No, I was just in Zermatt. Oh no. Oh no, this is not good. Now I can't even fucking do this.